So today, Nintendo gave us some new details regarding their Switch launching on March 3rd. What did they tell us? Well, for starters, no Virtual Console right away. No Virtual Console. You've got like this many games. I really hope there would be a Virtual Console at launch, because that would sort of bolster out the games that I could buy on release day and not have to pay 60 bucks or whatever it is for each game and have to buy a bunch of them. And I could sort of fill that out by buying some cheaper Virtual Console games. But no, I can't do that. And neither can you. Neither can you. The next thing that happened, and it's kind of a big deal, is that the embargo went up, or came down, or did they go up or come down? Anyway, the embargo was lifted on the Switch today with regard to unboxing it, or actually unboxing it, because previously people were allowed to unbox the box from the box they received it in. Yeah. What we got was a look at a whole bunch of consoles, that obviously they're all the same console, not different consoles. And what we got was a look at the Switch. Why am I looking over there? The fuck is over there? Nothing. Nothing is over there. A few people doing videos where they show you the UI, the whole system as it is when you turn it on, what you can expect. What I saw was that it looked very similar to kind of a PS4 layout, in that you've got your games and your icons as like a list, and then you've got the menu things. Obviously they're at the bottom rather than at the top, but still very cool. I like both the PlayStation and the Xbox menus at the moment. The Xbox seems to be a little bit weird and all over the place, but it has been since they launched. They've changed it a few times. Sometimes it's been a little bit better, sometimes a bit worse. Breathe. I have definitely preferred the PlayStation one, and this does seem to lean somewhat towards that. They also spoke today about updates and how updates would download in the background, specifically system updates, downloading in the background and installing in the background and not affecting gameplay. That's pretty weird to me. I don't understand how you can install a system update and not affect gameplay. However, that's still pretty cool. I don't know if any of you bought the Wii U, not many people did, but I did on launch day. And I couldn't play it for a while because there was a pretty hefty update and my internet wasn't great. I had to download it, I had to wait for it to install, I couldn't do anything. Then the system turned out to be meh. We did find out today that there are a number of other titles coming to the eShop at launch, and a number being 3. So that doesn't boost things too much either. We've got a couple of Shovel Knight games. I don't know if they're different variations or new versions of the old game, but you know, a couple of Shovel Knight games. And then Fast RMX. Let me check. Yeah, Fast RMX, which is a really cool looking Wipeout F-Zero style game. Now, Fast RMX isn't the first in the Fast series, it's actually the third. They existed previously, you know. It looks cool, and I'll definitely buy it because there won't be a lot else to buy. Which brings me on to my next subject, which is what games am I buying at launch? And honestly, I think I'm buying Zelda, Bomberman, and Fast RMX. That's it. And that's still half the games pretty much. So as well as actually showing us the inner workings of the console and the user interface and everything running inside there, people are obviously showing the outside as well, the clicky, the clacky, and the move aroundy, all these bits and bobs. What we also got to see is that there were a number of sites, Polygon, Kotaku, to name a couple, that were claiming the Joy-Cons would disconnect when put into the Joy-Con grip. And when obviously put in there, they would randomly disconnect. And it wouldn't cause too much of an issue, but obviously cause a couple of deaths in things like Zelda. What I'd been wondering, whether this was more of a physical thing, kind of like with when the iPhone 4 came out, and you could block the signal with your left hand, so they released the bumper. I don't know if maybe putting these Joy-Cons into the grip is maybe blocking something. It shouldn't do, because I think they're Bluetooth, so that would be very weird. But I mean, you never know. Or maybe you do. If you do, could you tell me? Please? The last thing I want to touch on was why I think there are so few games launching with the Switch. Obviously with other consoles, the Xbox and the PlayStation, everything going back for whenever you could think about it really, there's not been a tremendous amount of games launching with consoles. The Vita springs to mind as quite a good launch in terms of number of games. But why are there so few with the Switch? And my opinion is obviously we've got a March 3rd release date. I think this is kind of a soft launch. I think Nintendo have released for March the 3rd and said, hey, we know you diehard Nintendo fans are going to buy this. The people like me, a lot of people really, they're going to buy this even if it looked like a turd. They'd say, hey, take my money. Please take my money. I need this Nintendo turd money. This release, I believe, was for those people, the people that are definitely going to buy the system right now, no matter what Nintendo says. I think that's why the Virtual Console isn't coming out right now, too, because I think that's going to come out later in the year. Same reason why you're not paying for online services until November, because they're starting charging for that. The same time they'll probably release the Virtual Console, the same time a lot more games will be out for the system in November, ready for Christmas. Because that's when your babies are going to want to buy the console. Babies.